Have you ever wondered why some women stay deeply attached to men who barely acknowledge their worth? Why they keep giving love, even when there's none returned? It's a heart-wrenching thing to witness, and even more so to experience. We see it all around us. Friends, family members, maybe even ourselves, stuck in relationships that feel more like an echo chamber of silence than a loving partnership. Today, we're diving deep into the science and psychology behind this emotional trap. We're going to talk about the invisible bonds that keep us tethered to unhealthy relationships, the societal pressures that whisper it's our duty to fix things, and the very real signs that you might be caught in this cycle. But this isn't just about understanding the problem. It's about unearthing the courage to break free. So stay with me as we explore how to reclaim your worth, rewrite your story, and rediscover the power of choosing yourself. Let's talk about emotional attachment. It's not some abstract concept we read about in poetry books. It's hardwired into our biology. When we experience love, our brains release a cocktail of hormones, dopamine, oxytocin, you name it. These little chemical messengers tell our bodies, "This feels good, stay here." But what happens when that reciprocity fades? When the love you pour out isn't met with the same intensity? Our brains, those tricky little things, don't always let go easily. We become attached to the familiarity, to the memories of how things used to be. We crave those hormonal highs, even if they're fleeting and followed by longer stretches of lows. We tell ourselves stories about why he's distant, stories about how it's our responsibility to fix things, stories about how we're not worthy of consistent love and attention. We start to believe that our love, our effort, can somehow earn back the connection we crave. We mistake crumbs of affection for the whole loaf. But here's the truth. Your worth is not a negotiation. It's inherent. It's in your DNA. So before we talk about breaking free, let's acknowledge the very real, very powerful forces at play. Let's talk about the messages we've been fed since we were little girls. The fairy tales that promised a Prince Charming who would sweep us off our feet and solve all our problems. The movies that portrayed a woman's happiness as entirely dependent on finding a man. These narratives, however subtle, weave their way into our subconscious. We're taught to be nurturing, to be peacemakers, to prioritize relationships above all else. We're encouraged to be the glue that holds everything together, even if it means sacrificing our own needs. And then there's the societal pressure, the unspoken expectations that come with being a wife. We're supposed to be supportive no matter what. We're supposed to make excuses for bad behavior, to downplay our own hurt, to maintain a facade of happiness. We hear phrases like, "A good wife stands by her man," or "Men will be men, that's just how they are." These seemingly harmless statements plant seeds of doubt and self-blame. We start to believe that his shortcomings are somehow our responsibility to fix. But here's the thing. You are not responsible for his happiness. You are not defined by his choices. It's time to challenge these deeply ingrained beliefs and question the stories we've been told about love, sacrifice, and what it means to be a good woman. It can be hard to recognize when we're caught in this pattern, especially when we've been there for a long time. But there are signs, my friend, whispers of discontent from your heart, if you're willing to listen. Do you constantly seek his approval, but it feels like he hardly notices? Are you pouring energy into grand gestures and elaborate plans, hoping to elicit even a flicker of recognition? When he's distant or cold, do you find yourself justifying his behavior, making excuses for his silence? Do you walk on eggshells, afraid to rock the boat or say what you really feel? When things go wrong, do you instinctively blame yourself, wondering what you could have done differently, how you could have been better, more understanding, more accommodating? These, my friend, are not signs of a healthy, thriving relationship. They are red flags, flashing warnings that you're giving your heart to someone who's not meeting you halfway. You are worthy of a love that doesn't require you to shrink yourself, to silence your needs, to constantly prove your worth. This is not about placing blame. It's not about pointing fingers or villainizing anyone. It's about taking ownership of your own story, of reclaiming your voice, of choosing yourself. So, where do we begin? How do we unravel years of conditioning and break free from this emotional trap? First and foremost, we start with awareness. We shine a light on the patterns, the behaviors, the thought processes that have kept us tethered to this unhealthy dynamic. We acknowledge the societal pressures, the cultural narratives, the family expectations that have whispered, "This is how it's supposed to be." We start to question those narratives. We challenge the belief that our worth is contingent on our ability to fix someone else, to hold a relationship together single-handedly. Next comes setting boundaries. This is where the real work begins. The courageous act of saying, "This is what I will accept, and this is what I won't." It's about identifying your non-negotiables, the fundamental needs that must be met in order for you to thrive in any relationship. It's about learning to say no without guilt, to prioritize your own well-being, to stop pouring from an empty cup. Let's talk about the journey back to yourself, because it's the most important one you'll ever take. It's about peeling back the layers, the expectations, the should-haves and could-haves, to uncover the woman you were always meant to be. It's about rediscovering your voice, the one that speaks your truth, your desires, your boundaries without apology. It's about learning to love yourself fiercely, unconditionally, not because of what you do or how you look, but simply because you exist. This journey may require you to seek support, to reach out to trusted friends, family members, or a therapist who can provide a safe and compassionate space for you to heal and grow. It's about surrounding yourself with people who see your worth, who champion your strength, who remind you of your resilience. Remember, this is not a linear process. There will be days when you feel strong and empowered, and there will be days when the weight of it all feels overwhelming. Give yourself grace. Allow yourself to feel the full spectrum of emotions without judgment. This is about progress, not perfection. It's about taking it one day at a time, one step at a time, one breath at a time. And as you begin to heal, as you start to prioritize your own well-being, you'll realize that you are worthy of a love that sets your soul on fire, a love that celebrates your whole being, a love that feels like coming home to yourself. To every woman watching this, you are not here to chase love or beg for crumbs of attention. You are love. You deserve to receive it as deeply as you give it. If this video spoke to you, if it ignited even a flicker of recognition or a surge of hope, please know that you're not alone. Like, share, and comment below. Let's build a community where women choose self-worth over silent suffering, where vulnerability is met with empathy, and where healing happens together. Remember, your worth is not a negotiation. It's not something you earn or prove. It's inherent. You are enough, just as you are.